For many of you, you haven't realized that the person that you're trying to have a relationship with is investing into the relationship, but it's only partial. They have a number of investments going on outside the relationship, which is deleting the power that they could put into it. They're speculating in other areas. This could be somebody at work, this could be somebody that they're emotionally attached to on the internet, it could be friends, it could be interferers, it could be children. They're speculating. They've got emotional investments that should be reserved solely for the relationship going on in other areas outside of the relationship. And you're sensing this. You're sensing this loud and clear, and you're trying to work out what the problem is. Well, I'm telling you what the problem is. The person doesn't have the same investment interest in the relationship as what you do. And so you're sensing this, you're feeling this, you're suffering from this. And it's not a very nice feeling. It's sending alarm bells that you're trying to ignore. The reason for this is when the relationship started, there was a clear positive investment that was worth interest on the investment, which is your effort in return. And it was followed up by effort. There was value in the investment. But like a racehorse on a track, it's only going to be able to peak for so long. And then it's going to go back to what it really is, its default relaxed state. So when somebody comes into a relationship and they're sprinting, you have to realize that they're not going to be able to maintain that level of performance. So if you base the future of the relationship on that level of performance, you're going to be bitterly disappointed, severely disappointed. And this can bring tremendous impacts onto your mind, because you're trying to work out invisible happenings. Okay, you're in the physical, all the pieces of the puzzle are there, but they're just not fitting into the right place. And you're trying to, like somebody that's holding a piece of a jigsaw, work out where that piece of the puzzle fits. And we're not culturalized to understand that many people in our diversities and differences have conflicting ways, as it were, or negligent ways, or overbearing ways. On the one point, omission; on the other point, commission; on the one point, relative to omission, they just don't seem to do enough or be enough after they establish a relationship. And then on the commission side, they're overbearing and they do too much, to the point where it's just overbearing, it's too much. And so there's different cultures, there's different ways in which people apply themselves to relationships. Now, in some ways, these things work. If they can find the right person to couple with, then the wearing process, the empowering processes, they work. The lubrication's there for conflicts and contrasts to be able to mature and adapt. So then it comes to the point where you've got to decide, is my loyalty, faithfulness, devotion and commitment blinding me, holding me in to a relationship that is not going to be able to continue to be positive? Okay. It's just not going to be able to generate, by way of the relaxed state, the necessities that you need. So this is what happens in narcissism. The horse arrives as though it's just jumped out of the starting barrier, and as it eventually disintegrates over the course of the race of the relationship, the real nature of the horse comes out, because don't forget, some horses are champions and some horses are nags. They're never going to win a race. They're not able or capable of winning a race, but they'll start off relatively well and then they fall away. This is how it works with narcissism. You get blinded by the performance at the start, and as the thing starts to deteriorate, be it male or female, and degenerate, you start to realise that eventually, when your mind has just about had enough of it all, and there's not necessarily too much going wrong, it could be just the individual's negligence or lack of performance. It could just be the individual's inability to be positive within the relationship, not by way of doing things wrong, but just by way of idleness and a lack of presence. It could be somebody that the person knows that's taking their attention away from you, that wasn't there at the start. In a transparent way, they were always there, but the person that you're with is not transparent or hasn't been transparent. Now you're dealing with this third person sabotage situation, which usually is totally out of your control, and usually is a child or a family member or some kind of dysfunctional friendship thing that's going on. So you've got to, at the end of the day, you've got to challenge yourself and ask yourself, is my faithfulness, loyalty, commitment, devotion, what you might describe as love, blinding me from the reality of a relationship that just isn't going to work? And it's not going to work because the other person's necessarily bad, although they could be bad, and that's just the way it has to be accepted and judged. It's the covert, unseen forms of behaviour that pull us down, wear us out, that are the hard ones. The parts where the toxicity can't be smelled, can't be seen, but it's working on you and ruining you in a way in which your faithfulness, loyalty, devotion and commitment has disabled you from walking away. And my advice is, come to your senses, come back to yourself, listen to what your mind's saying to you. Don't be afraid. If you've had all the talks and nothing's changing, you have to decide to walk away and go through the processes of healing and revitalizing and learning from the relationship. Never, ever, ever after you walk away, go back.